And Dean Adams joins us on Pompey Sound. And Dean, did you enjoy Sunday?
We're all smiles, aren't we, this week? Yeah, everything about that game. The sun was out, the day, the opposition, big club. We're a big club as well, don't forget. Great result, great performances. Performances all round were absolutely superb. Was there any negatives on the day? I don't think there were. Clean sheet against the league leaders. I think the only negative you look at is the fact that how can we beat the team that are top and lose to the team that were bottom the week before? But, yeah, incredible. What an incredible week. And hopefully by the time we play Plymouth this week, it caps it off nicely. But, yeah, absolutely pleasing. I was actually stunned at the end of it. It reminded me a little bit in a funny way to the Barnsley one when we won the league last year. I was a bit stunned after that. And when the final whistle went on Sunday, it was almost quite emotional. It was a really weird feeling. I was just very stunned that we put in a performance like that with so many injuries as well. And we beat the league leaders, and it shows what we can do with togetherness. And I'll tell you what a massive part of this was the crowd. The atmosphere was absolutely fantastic. There's a lot of clubs up and down the country this week that are talking about this. The atmosphere was absolutely brilliant, and you think and you know that takes the players on one step further. So to do what we did on Sunday with the injury crisis we've got and the players we've got left available just shows what could we do with a full squad. So yeah, absolutely superb.
Yeah, elsewhere on Pompey Sound, Mick Robertson is saying, just as you have, that the crowd is starting to believe its own publicity. Yeah,
I've seen so many clubs this week on Twitter, or X as it's now called, and various social media feeds from all different clubs, from different supporters, all praising the way the crowd were on Sunday. So it obviously came across really well on TV. And it shows what the Pompey fans are about. We go 1-0 down, we go 2-0 down, we're still supporting the players and we're still there singing our hearts out. So, yeah, it was fantastic. And you could see there was one or two moments where the Leeds were slightly on top and you could see the crowd started singing and they were getting up, and it pushes the players on. And I think some of the TV interviews afterwards, Colby Bishop and Josh Murphy were saying that atmosphere, that crowd steps it up another level for the players because they feed off that. So, yeah, absolutely incredible day. It's up there with in recent years, one of my favourite days watching Portsmouth Football Club.
Oh, it's getting talked of as being a GOAT.
It's up there with the AC Milan's, the Barnsley 3-2 win last season, that atmosphere. The other big atmosphere was the Stockport one when we started that great run under Alan Ball a few years back. The crowd didn't stop singing for probably about an hour. It's up there with the Stockports, the Barnsleys, the AC Milans, and you can add Leeds to that list because absolutely incredible.
I used to have a season ticket in the Fratton End, and there was a little knot of fans, a clump of fans who basically started the singing. They would choose the song or the chant or whatever, and the whole ground would pick up on it. Well, actually, then not the whole ground. It was like the Fratton End and the first third of the two stands to the side. But on Sunday, it was the whole crowd. Absolutely,
everybody.
But who instigates this? Who decides it's going to be Blue Army?
Do you know what? I watched that on Sunday. I was sitting there looking at it, and I started watching the crowd. Believe it or not, about 6 rows in front of me to the left, one bloke was actually nodding off. some old fella was there. I was thinking, how can you nod off in a game like this? But I was watching one bloke stood up, probably in his 40s, and started singing. And then the rest of the stand started singing. And then I could hear the Fratton End follow on, and it went around the whole ground just from one man standing up singing. And it catches, and it's absolutely brilliant. I absolutely loved it on Sunday.
I think as well the crowd got the balance of what the noise they were making right between the repetitive chants, which are very powerful. Blue Army is a very good example, and of course the Pompey chimes. And reacting to what's going on the pitch, because if you're a player out there and you go in for a 50-50 and you make it and you win it, you want the crowd not to be going Blue Army, but to be going on your side, in celebration of what you've just done. You want to hear the crowd go, "Rah!"
Yeah,
and they were getting that right as well. Yeah, crowd reaction to the game.
Yeah, the
minute
crowd
by
react
minute.
they react in such a great way, and you saw it with one or two sort of Terry Devlin tackles. He loves these 50-50 tackles, and he goes in strong, and that gets the crowd going as well. But yeah, the crowd reacts in the right ways, and it's just very nice at the right time. And even simple things like, I'm not a massive fan of John Westwood, but he does get certain atmospheres going, and you see like one of the Leeds players going down injured, and John Westwood's playing the ambulance Nina song on his trumpet for about 2 to 3 minutes, and that's just funny seeing a player walk off the pitch. You don't want to see anyone go off injured, obviously, but to hear that Nina song played on the trumpet of the ambulance siren as the player's going off is just brilliant, and it all helps that atmosphere. And it's just one of those days on Sunday that was just absolutely incredible. And I can't believe anybody saw that coming, because to keep a clean sheet and to win 1-0 was incredible, absolutely brilliant. And for the player to score that goal, Colby Bishop, if you wanted a player to score on Sunday,
absolutely.
It was Colby. So we're all pleased for him. That was brilliant.
Staying with periphery, what's that Muscles celebration all about?
Do you know what? I don't know, and I've not looked into it, but I saw he obviously had that pre-plan. It was the first thing he thought of. He didn't run off celebrating. He turned around, he rolled his shirt sleeves up, and then you saw Josh Murphy came in and did the same thing, and I think it was Terry Devlin after that. So it's obviously something that's happened or been said in social media or said somewhere, or something that's happened at the training ground that they've decided to go with that. Maybe they're doing extra weightlifting sessions at training in the afternoons. I don't know, but the first time I've seen that one, and definitely different. Be interesting to see if he does it again on Wednesday night.
True. The celebrations were interesting. I was watching everything back when every chance I got. I've been looking at every moment of the game that's on video.
Yeah.
And I watched Matt Ritchie when we scored the goal, and he stalked towards the throng of players. Most of them ran in with big smiles on their faces, but Ritchie was giving off, "Job's not done yet, boys. Yeah. I'll go mad when the final whistle goes." But the job's... And he stalked with a solemn face to give Colby Bishop a pat on the back and then back to the halfway line. He's a pro, isn't he? I'll tell you what, the most knackered part of his physique at the end of a game is the arm that he points with.
He's very good at that. He loves it. For me, he's a very good captain, you could say. So obviously if Pat's ever out, Richie takes the armband. And he's been brilliant at that. You can hear him in the press box. He shouts, he screams, he does not stop all game, and you can hear it. And he's passionate, he's organised, he's played at the top level, and you need the Matt Ritchies. And we know it took sort of 10 games at the start of the season for him to sort of get involved and get fit, but he's been brilliant since he came back on. And he's very level-headed. He's a bit like John Messino. You don't see John Messino celebrating too often until the final whistle, because... We know football's not a 90-minute game these days. It's sort of a 98-minute game. And John Messina, there was a very good interview done by, I don't know the guy's name. He's got a social media podcast called 4-0 written all over it. And he had a half an hour walk around the training ground with John Messina this week. And John Messina actually came out and said he's only probably celebrated a couple of goals since he's been at Portsmouth. One of those was the second late goal from Mark Amani at Oxford recently. John Messina said he was celebrating really well for that one, and there was one other, but it's some sort of a 98-minute game these days, so the job isn't done until that whistle goes.
Plymouth coming up. We're talking to Dean it's Tuesday afternoon, isn't it, Dean? And Plymouth's just coming up. I'll get your thoughts on that, even though we'll be playing this out after the game, so don't embarrass yourself. But let me ask you this one: Would you stay with Devlin, or would you, if he's fit, bring O'Cheesh back into the side?
Do you know what? I would stay with Devlin. I thought Devlin was absolutely superb at right back and in that number 10 position when he came on. I could see why John Messina done it. Devlin's obviously played there last season against Reading and scored a goal as well. But Devlin, he's got that high press. He's got that energy. He won't stop running. He'll tackle. And he puts pressure on defenders and the goalkeeper. And I thought that worked absolutely superbly when he did that. So I'm sort of hoping that's how it would carry off on Wednesday night, because I think he deserves it. And even today, we're obviously talking on the Tuesday. He's been called up for the Northern Ireland squad for I think it's the first time today. So he deserves it. Very pleased to see that, and he deserves a place deserves a place in our team. And if he's in that number 10 position on Wednesday evening, it'd be brilliant.
A number of people, their first thought after the game is, God, they're going to be absolutely cream-crackered for Plymouth.
Yes.
Emotionally as well as physically.
Yeah. They were back in on... So the game was Sunday, wasn't it? They were back in on Monday. They didn't have a day's rest. They basically came back in on Monday for a warm-down. They didn't train as such. They came in for a warm-down, a few massages. There's obviously a few achy legs and that there. But, preparation, the games are coming thick and fast. Big game on Wednesday night. Big game at the weekend away at Preston as well with a journey involved. And then I think we've got the international break. So I think John Messino, I can't see him making any changes for Wednesday night. I can see him go for it. Once we get the weekend done away at Preston, I think then the players have got a few days rest. So, I think it's just going to keep on firing and keep going. Put your best team out. Go for it. Get points on the board. We're almost there. I'm not going to say we're there yet because... As we said, we're talking on Tuesday night. There's Luton are playing away at Cardiff tonight. There's other games. Derby have got a game tonight. QPR, Preston. They're all teams that are around us and just above us now that we want to lose. And if they can lose today and we can pick up points on Wednesday, then I think we're probably only one more win away from safety after that, and that could be at the weekend against Preston.
OK, go on then. We love your predictions because they're so bullish. Are we going to blow Plymouth away and then stick it to Preston, or what are you going to go with?
Do you know what? Because of the atmosphere and the confidence that's breeding around the place at the moment, whether we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 changes, whether we make no changes, I think we'll take Plymouth. I think we'll take them. I think we're probably looking... I think we'll be all right at the back as well. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win against Plymouth.
Right. Preston, too far away? Let's just think about Plymouth.
Preston. No, I think it'll be a similar lineup. I don't believe there'll be any changes. Preston are a decent side, but they are down there. They're just above us. We could go above them if they lose this midweek and we win on Saturday. And again, I think... I know we didn't do too well at Luton the other week, but we've had 1 or 2 decent performances away recently, and I can see us taking something from that with the firepower we've got. So, 3-0 win against Plymouth and a 2-1 win at Preston.
Always good to get your wisdom, your insight, and, of course, your all-important vim, Dean.
Cheers, Tommy. Thank you.